Hi, today you join me here at home, under lockdown, as I assume most of you are. My hair is getting long and my facial hair is getting shabby, but today we're going to be looking at this. This is the Sea Harrier FA2 kit from Airfix, first released in 2011 for the Royal Navy's official gift set line, which includes other such kits as the 1:72 scale Fairy Swordfish, the 1:48 Lynx HMA8, the 1:24 Harrier FRS1, and the various ships such as HMS Illustrious, HMS Daring, and HMS Ark Royal. Included in the box are the parts on the sprues, poly cement, 2 brushes, although the box only states 1, 6 paints in colours 165 medium sea grey, 53 gunmetal, 33 matte black, 130 satin white, 164 dark sea grey, and 127 US ghost grey. The instruction booklet, a set of water slide decals, various leaflets, and the display base. The kit itself measures 197mm by 107mm and has 116 pieces. And now for some history. The Sea Harrier was created in response to the retirement of the Royal Navy's fixed-wing carriers. The ability to field fixed-wing aircraft had been lost, and the Navy's Phantoms and Buccaneers were handed over to the Royal Air Force. Only a few small helicopter carriers were still in service, and so the need for an aircraft which could operate off small runways arose. Naturally, the Admiralty cast their eyes on the Royal Air Force's Harriers, and the navalised variant being developed by Hawker Siddeley. The P1127 had already landed on board of the carrier HMS Ark Royal, so the concept had already been proved as feasible. The resulting aircraft of the Admiralty's demands was this. The Sea Harrier was first flown on August 21st, 1978, and was a modified variant of the GR3, specialised for naval operation, and as such shared many features with its land-based counterparts. The main difference was the forward fuselage, with a raised cockpit to accommodate new avionics, and a reshaped radome housing for the Ferranti Blue Fox radar. As well as these, there were enlargements made to the wingtip jet nozzles to allow for better handling at sea, and special paints to counter corrosive sea air. Sworn into service in 1981, the Sea Harrier Fighter Reconnaissance Strike 1, or FRS-1, was deployed on the carriers HMS Hermes and HMS Invincible. The Sea Harrier, however, did not have long to wait for its combat debut, as in April 1982, Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands. Embarked on the carriers as part of the task force, they were used for fleet defence and raids on the islands.
Offensive to recapture the fortress.
May 1st, 1982, Harriers were used to attack Goose Green and Stanley airfields, and that evening the first air-to-air kill was claimed against an Argentinian Mirage. In only 7 weeks, 23 air-to-air kills were claimed by Sea Harriers, with 2 being lost to ground fire, 5 to accidents, and none to air combat. The last British dogfight occurred on the last days of the war when, on June 8, 1982, Sea Harrier Zulu Alpha 177, piloted by Royal Air Force Exchange Officer Flight Lieutenant David Morgan, claimed 2 Argentinian Skyhawks, and Sea Harrier Zulu X-Ray 499, piloted by Royal Navy pilot Lieutenant David Smith, claimed another. However, it soon became apparent that Soviet naval air power was beginning to outclass the Harrier's capabilities, so a mid-life upgrade was required. At first designated the FRS2, the upgrade was given to 2 airframes to see how they performed. The upgrade included an extension of the fuselage, a redesign of the nose to incorporate a new blue Vixen radar, a new all-glass cockpit, and a redesign of the wings, including moving the dogtooth closer to the fuselage and kinking the leading edge. All of these changes are well represented in the kit. These upgrades, designated FRS2, soon became known as the FA2, or Fighter Attack Mark II. Now we move on to the kit. The kit contains a number of sub-assemblies, such as the air intakes, 4 exhaust nozzles, as well as the underwing stores. The cockpit tub is small and compact. Unfortunately, the included pilot is time-warped, but a dig around the spares box procured a more accurate pilot. Detail-wise, the ejector seat is okay, however sadly the majority of the details are done with decals, but this is forgivable at such a small scale. I also noticed there seemed to be no gun sight represented in the kit, but this was remedied with the use of an old spare. The cockpit fits nicely into the fuselage itself, as well as the air ducts and gear wells. A small bit of filling is required, however, some sanding of internal parts can also remedy these gaps. The 4 jet nozzles can be positioned at any angle and can be modified to turn together as seen here. Kit itself has a variety of configuration options, allowing the gear to be positioned up or down with the gear doors open or closed. There are a few options for underwing stores, including drop tanks, Sea Eagle missiles, AIM-9L sidewinders, and an AMRAAM missile. The refueling probe can also be attached or left off, however attaching it can be a bit of a struggle as there's no real clear indicator of where it's supposed to go. The gun pods can be attached or replaced by a set of rails. There are a lot of decals involved in the kit, and unfortunately their adhesion was a bit weak, but this is a bit of an old kit, so it's forgiven and easily remedied with some decal solution. However, it is noticeable that on the stencil data sheet the panel lines don't quite match up with that other kit, which can sometimes be a little confusing. And this is the final product. The kit is a good representation of the FA2 and looks good alongside the FRS1 or as a standalone piece with the included display plate. The FA2 midlife upgrade was given to 29 airframes as well as 18 new build airframes. Later an extra 5 airframes would be upgraded. They entered service in 1993, replacing the Mark I by 1995, when the last Mark I was retired. Almost immediately they were thrown into combat, taking part in Operation Deliberate Force over Bosnia. They also operated as part of the Joint Harrier Force over Sierra Leone. Sadly, however, the FA2's Pegasus Mark 106 proved to have a sharp drop in performance in hotter climates. With the need for out-of-area operations becoming more and more prevalent, the Sea Harrier now had a very prominent handicap. In February 2002 it was announced the Sea Harrier would be withdrawn from service by 2006, even though the last airframe had been handed over just 3 years prior in 1999. The reason given for this seemingly premature ejection from service was the intended replacement for the Harrier, the F-35 Lightning II, was scheduled to enter service in 2012, and the upgrades needed to keep the Harrier competitive in the skies were too costly to squeeze a mere 6 more years of service. Unfortunately, the F-35 was delayed and did not enter service until 2018, and the retirement of the Harrier meant the Navy was left without any fixed-wing fighter aircraft for their carriers for almost a decade. And that is the story of the last British fighter. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, Please feel free to follow my Instagram, that's @WorldWarGuru, or check out my channel. Sources are linked in the description box below, and if you like the video, please give a thumbs up and leave a comment in the section below. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye.